I swear on my unborn child's grave, the French are on some sort of animation ayahuasca, man. 'Cause the shit they've been making is nothing short of transcendent. They have mastered and pushed the Flash animation software and pipeline to incredible and game-changing heights. Dofus, L'Hiver 1, Julith, was released in 2016 by Ankama Studio, and it's absolutely insane. It's one of the most lively, erratic, and hilariously creative films to rival behemoths like Triplets of Belleville and Legend of Hay, with rich, detailed environments, stellar cinematography, and the most energized and expressive character animation you'll probably ever see. Ankama is a French arts company that have produced comics, video games, TV shows, and movies since 2001. In fact, Dofus originally started as a Flash video game and comic book series. Well, it was technically a manga series, because there's a lot of anime influence here, but later on it got adapted into its own feature-length movie, which explains the in-credits animations referencing the concept's origins. I haven't played the games or read the books, but trust me, I might. Who knows? I'll get back to you on that. You know, actually, probably not. The basic plot is, a young boy named Joris, who lives in a magical, sentient, Calcifer-esque orphanage, aspires to meet his athletic idol, Khan Carcass, and be accepted onto his sports team. This, of course, goes against the wishes of his grandfather Cherubim, a feline mystic known as an Ekaflip in this universe. The story takes place in the fantasy city of Bonta, where 10 years ago, an evil witch named Julith declared a war using the ebony Dofus. A Dofus is a dragon egg that possesses unlimited power through its dragon soul. There's also an ivory Dofus, which, as you may have guessed, is the yin to the ebony's yang. However, amidst the rage of war, Julith and the king at the time, Jahash, fell madly in love. But months later, she betrayed the city once again and unleashed the ebony Dofus's power and killed King Jahash. Now, a decade later, recovering from her near-fatal injuries, she returns to the city with a vengeance, vowing to decimate Bonta once and for all. Joris, of course, gets caught in the middle of this conflict, but is aided by his and his idol, Khan, in a perilous journey to stop Julith's wrath. That's all I'll explain for now, but I will have a spoiler section, don't worry. The animation is on several strains of cocaine. I mean, just look at these clips. You don't even need sound. Everything is communicated so clearly. You can feel the raw characterization, motion, exaggeration, comedy, and impact with every single solitary frame. It's some of the cleanest and most satisfying animation I've ever seen on film. However, I should mention, while this is definitely a kid's movie in terms of its slapstick and goofiness, this film has sporadic sexual moments that, yeah, some viewers may not like all that much. I mean, we get some pretty good, clear views of Khan Carcass's Brundle. It's very in-your-face about it when it happens. Now, personally, I found these moments hilarious, but it's easy to see how this can make some people uncomfortable. But hey, that's up to you and your discretion. Anyway, what really blew me away in this film was the city of Bonta itself. Very much like Triplets, the layouts are the shining star of the film. Like, Jesus Christ, chill the fuck out, movie. Every layout is desktop wallpaper worthy. This is the most unique fantasy setting in the realm of animation, I dare say. It combines the magical and technological elements akin to D&D with the imagination and artistry similar to Treasure Planet. I have spent literal hours just looking at these shots. I could get lost in this world forever. All of this film was hand-drawn with Adobe Flash, just like the video game. Every scene is digitally hand-drawn with exquisite detail, focus, and skill. And as such, they are all fantastic. The emotional and humorous acting scenes and crazy intense anime fight set pieces hit it out of the park. And it's all thanks thanks to that hand-drawn feel. The character designers and animators of this film pushed the capabilities of this software further with their fluid, crisp, god-tier animation, bringing to life a world beyond our wildest imaginations.
Après le jeu, après la série, on a décidé de s'attaquer au cinéma. Avec les équipes d'Ankama, on s'est lancé dans le film Dofus. On a voulu s'amuser à faire un film d'aventure, épico-burlesque.
Je suis le character designer un peu historique de Ankama, donc j'ai déjà travaillé sur les jeux Dofus et Wakfu, sur la série Wakfu aussi, donc c'était un peu dans la logique des choses. Je pense que la qualité du film va se retrouver surtout sur ces petites choses qu'on n'aura pas l'habitude de voir, sur un type d'humour voilà, qui est un peu différent. Il y a quand même une touche française.
Quand on regarde le film aujourd'hui, une fois terminé, on se dit c'est nous qui avons fait ça. Et oui, c'est nous qui avons fait ça.
Alright, it's about that point in the video. You wanna see some crazy fucking fight scenes? Okay, spoiler section, here's the time code so you don't get spoiled in the oil. So, our protagonist, baby boy Joris here, goes through several freezer loads of emotional trauma. Joris finds out that the evil witch Julith is actually his mother, and the late King Jahash was his father, and on the day the ebony Dofus was fractured, and subsequently the day of Jahash's death, the dragon's soul inhabited itself immediately in Joris. However, Joris also learns that Julith never meant to harm Bonta at all. An unknown figure unleashed the Dofus on the city, and Julith tried to stop it, but the city turned on her thinking she was trying to kill them, and now, after being wrongfully accused and exiled, Julith plans on taking the souls of all the denizens of Bonta to bring back her beloved husband. Now, as for who that unknown person was, the movie never tells us, so I don't know. Maybe it was this guy. No, but in all seriousness, I actually have a theory that it might have been a plot by the staff of the palace and the citizens of Bonta to lure Julith out in the open with an excuse to open fire on her. I mean, it makes sense. Would you be okay with your king marrying the so-called Butcher of Brakmar, the one that waged war on your city? Probably not. But before Joris learns that crucial information, Carabim tragically dies after his battle with Julith, and learns he was a powerful demigod with the highest temple in the Ekaflip dimension. Then Joris finds out that one of Julith's evil henchmen, Acham, is Carabim's brother, who then dies 20 minutes later thanks to his vengeful, power-hungry aunt, who nabbed the ivory Dofus from Joris moments after he vowed to be the guardian of it. So I think it's safe to say this kid's plate is sufficiently full. After all these mind-breaking revelations he's faced, his views of good and evil become so muddled that he actually considers going along with Julith's plan to bring back Jahash. And being a child, he of course wants to be with his mother and father again. And since he just lost his grandpa, his uncle, was temporarily betrayed by his aunt, and found out he possesses the dragon soul of the the ebony Dofus all within literal hours of each other. I mean, good lord, how is this kid even functioning at this point? I'd be pissing myself in the corner. The horrors and challenges he faces force him to quickly mature from a hyperactive child to a hardened, just, and brave fighter. One who, as you may have guessed, rises up against his murderous mother, and with the help of his Aunt Baccara, Khan, and Marlene, he defeats her with the Dofus. Actually, upon seeing Jahash's somber reaction to all the death his wife has caused, Julith herself uses the Dofus to restore all of the souls she's robbed, sacrificing herself in the process. Which I really like. It adds more of a mature dimension to Julith as a villain. She realizes she can never bring happiness to her family in life, so she joins her late husband in death. And also, her last 10 years on Earth have been pretty miserable, so like, yeah, I can only imagine she wants to be freed from this hell. But going back to Joris, what I find really endearing about his character is that no matter how much trauma and emotional turmoil he goes through, he always retains his kind, honest, and forgiving philosophy. Despite his young age, he stares fear and danger straight in the face with a sense of maturity, rationality, and even a sense of authority, which is pretty badass. From his naive upbringing with cherubim to having his reality completely shattered by Julith, Joris's spirit never faltered. But he, as a character, changed forever. It's a very unexpected arc from such a silly and comedic movie, but its emotional and dramatic character moments are just as effective as its over-the-top action and slapstick. And that's what really impresses me about Dofus. It delivers its plot beats with simultaneous instances of heartstring-pulling emotion and legitimate hilarity without ever sacrificing its tone. Its characterization, comedy, and world-building are so tightly written and consistent that they can get away with almost anything in its universe. It's a mammoth of a film. A film that shows us what animation is capable of, and what solid, airtight writing can accomplish. And I have an endless admiration for it. Also, I want Julith to step on me. So, in conclusion, this movie is brilliant. You should watch it. If you've already seen it, watch it again. I've seen it like, how many times at this point? I've lost count. It's entertaining as all hell. It blows my mind across the wall how this movie still remains unknown to many even after 5 years. Thankfully, it has a cult following and it's slowly gaining more traction in the mainstream, but it's simply not enough. Its brand of humor may not be to everyone's taste, but I recommend you watch it at least once. I guarantee there'll be a few things you'll get enjoyment out of. There's a link in the description to the full movie if you want to watch for yourself. I mean, you don't have to, but it is there. And I really don't have anything profound or clever to say to finish this whole thing off, so I guess we can just end it here. Dofus, Book 1, Julith gets a solid gold chicken. And trust me, these are a bitch to track down, so you better appreciate it.
No.
I would like you all to know that I invited you here today because I caught some of you having sex in